in the Principal Secretary in charge of transport in the country, Irungu Nyakera, who joins us here on KTN Prime. Thank you for joining us, sir. Now, this report, which we have here in studio with us, shows an increase in fatalities as well as those who are injured from road accidents. As a ministry, what is your perspective, and are there measures to arrest this seemingly worrying trend?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for us, this is one of the key areas that we look at, and that's why we have NTSA, the National Transport and Safety Authority, which monitors as well as manages the situation in this. What you'll realize is we actually get a daily tracker, and we get to know in terms of when did this happen, what are the reasons that have caused this, and then for us, we look at what are the mitigants, how do we actually bring down these numbers.
Right. From this report, what do you make of the fact that the biggest number of the lives lost, as we see from these statistics, are those of pedestrians?
The pedestrians are unfortunately, because of mostly you find that when they are crossing the roads, maybe or cars veering off the roads, as we've seen in a number of instances, or even sometimes children coming from school, like happened 2 weeks ago, and a car just rammed into and killed 7 innocent children. So pedestrians continue to be the most affected. We are coming and I think also when we look at it, the motorcyclists, both the bicycles as well as the borders.
Right. That is what I want to talk about next, and that number has been very high. There are some hospitals across the country where there are special wards for the commercial motorcycle operators known as borders, where a very huge number of them have been losing their lives and getting seriously injured. Why is that number so high? What are we missing?
Actually, probably the number, what I say is the number is actually probably even higher than what we think, because some of even the drivers and pedestrians that we count as from a different category are probably also from an accident with a motorcycle. So you find that the fact that the motorcycles have really, the numbers have mushroomed, and of course to benefits in terms of a certain bringing income to people who didn't have that employment before and opening up areas, but then the lack of regulations or not heeding to the regulations is actually what has been the biggest challenge for us. If you look at it, the last year in 2015, we actually the NTSA published the new regulations for motorcycles, but these have actually not been enforced. And so things like, for example, looking at the wearing helmets, it is a requirement that both the passenger and the rider have to wear helmets. In terms of overloading, unless it's a child under 13, you're not allowed to have an extra person on that. The reflective jackets, it's a requirement, especially for those people who ride at night. Then licenses. For people who are riding on motorcycles, the riders, they need to have the licenses.
Well, PS, is it safe to say from this report and from what you're saying that now the NTSA Act and especially the regulations of motorcycles, the operation of motorcycles regulation are not working?
They've not. The enforcement has been the challenge.
Right.
On those, and again they are new. The regulations are 2015. So what we are doing now is actually going on education for the border riders, ensuring that they actually understand that when they are not wearing a helmet, they are contravening the regulations. We are actually going a step further to the owners of the borders. You'll find that a lot of times the people riding are not the owners. The owners are people sitting in offices in Nairobi and the other cities. So what we are saying is that the owners, actually, it's their responsibility to ensure that the person riding the motorcycle adheres by the regulations, is wearing a helmet, has insurance, and all those other requirements within the regulations. Further, what we are doing is we are engaging with the county governments to see how do we enforce these regulations.
Now, the NTSA received some 45 vehicles with 100 officers to man them in that controversial leasing deal. First of all, has that been cleared? the controversy surrounding the government leasing of those vehicles?
The leasing was part of a National Treasury program, so it actually had nothing to do with NTSA. And so NTSA has the 45 vehicles, 40 and 5 ambulances, which are actually operational at the moment.
So from this report, from your ministry,
Yes.
Between January 1st and April 10th, these numbers are rising as compared to the same period last year. So from the few days that we've had these NTSA vehicles, improved surveillance from the NTSA, have you noticed any positive change in terms of road accidents?
Actually, the last 3 weeks have each been recording a decline, because and that has actually come. We've been very happy with that. The decline in numbers. I don't think necessarily it's because of those vehicles being there immediately, but I think that is actually something that we hope to sustain. The patrols are seeming to be actually becoming a lot more, and so I think that we'll see change. But beyond that, I think it's going to be about the behavioral change that needs to be sustained for us to actually see that change.
Now in 2014, in 2015, the numbers were worse than 2014.
Yes.
So in 2016, can you assure Kenyans that the Transport Ministry will seek to, put these numbers down in terms of fatalities that come from road accidents?
Yes, I think for us, we are committed to actually, we're supposed to be bringing the numbers down by 10% on an annual basis. The key challenge that we have, there are a number of challenges, some infrastructural, because some people say you don't see the same amount of number of accidents in the UK, in the US, but at the same time you also realize if you look at where these accidents happen, a lot of them are head-on collisions, a lot of them are people trying to overtake. In most of those countries it's dual carriageways. You'll never find cars actually overtaking on that. But as we work on the infrastructure, and as we also look at securing the pedestrians on Thika Road, we'll be doing is a total of there should be 4-foot bridges, and then and that removing some of those bumps and ensuring that we secure the people there. Right. Then also the same on the other major highways. So I think we are really working on different initiatives to ensure that we actually secure the pedestrians, but we really want to push on these motor vehicle regulations down to the county levels, because that's where these key challenges are.
Thank you, Bwana PS.
Thank you very much.
Irungu Nyakera, the Principal Secretary in charge of Transport, just on road carnage. The statistics very worrying from the period January 1st to April 10th. You're watching KTN Prime. Thank you for staying with us. Stay with us. After this quick commercial break, Joy Doreen Bira will be giving us the latest in the world of business.